Hello and welcome to this small session of how to write an introduction. So let's talk about what an introduction is or consists of. Introduction is basically two things: a background and a thesis statement. I would add one little thing to it, and I would say that it's a background and a transition and a thesis statement, because I think the transition from the background to the thesis statement is very important. So let's say this: you write a background about, so I think there are many types of backgrounds, such as historical, which I don't know anything about, so I'm just not gonna touch. Why is it out of focus? Okay. So but the other one, which I kind of know of, is the where you go from الموضوع بشكل عام بعدين يتخصص. So yeah, general topic and then you go specific. Let's say, for example, time management. I've written an essay about it, so I'm just gonna read what I wrote. That's not the one I want. Let's see. Alright, so I said, success does not come easy. It takes hard work, perseverance, and most importantly, time management. Every successful person has a specific time set for everything, and that is what separates them from others. So what do you see? I don't know what you see. You see what I did here is I talked about success, which is not my main topic. My main topic is time management. So I went vague into very specific. I went, success does not come easy. It's a very general topic, and it takes hard work, perseverance, and most importantly, time management. Okay, here I'm trying to focus on one topic. Right now I wrote three things about success. Then I'm gonna transition and go from these three. I'm just gonna pick one, and this is a technique that is not really unique, but I guess it works. It works fine. Okay, so then I went, every successful person has a specific time set for everything. That is, wait, is that what I wanted to say? Yeah, every successful person has a specific time set for everything, and that is what separates them from others. And I'm trying here to connect or talk a little bit more about time management, because now I'm going to move from the introduction to I'm gonna move from the background. Okay, I'm gonna move from background information into the thesis statement. So it was actually about KFUPM students, so I'm just gonna skip a little bit. I'll say, no, I'm not gonna skip. So it goes, similarly, successful students at KFUPM also manage their time efficiently. And this is how I related my topic into what I was talking about in the background, which is time management for KFUPM students, and is it beneficial or not. So and then I continued. See, I wrote my background information, which is success, and it doesn't come off easy. And then I moved to a transition where I talk about similarly successful students at KFUPM, blah 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 blah. And then last thing here is the thesis statement, which I wrote. This essay zealously supports that time management is beneficial to KFUPM students, and then I go on with my thesis. I should actually talk about how I wrote the thesis, because it's important. So I said, this essay zealously supports that time management is beneficial to KFUPM students for many reasons, two of which are helping students accomplish their tasks efficiently and supporting their mental strength. So I made clear what I'm gonna talk about in this essay. If it's a two body paragraphs, then I would, if I'm gonna make an essay that is only two body paragraphs, then I'm gonna write two reasons in my thesis statement. If there are three, then I'm gonna write three reasons. But in our essay, only two were required. So you see, some people prefer that they will write the most important part at first, because they believe that you should always go with what you have as the best in the beginning, and then you go to whatever else that you have. So now you see that it is background information, transition, and then thesis statement. So I'm gonna look at another argument, not an argument, sorry. I'm gonna read something from the which we have sent to us from the university. I don't know why I'm speaking like this, but I'm just gonna talk about it. Okay, introduction. The introductory paragraph of an argument has two parts: some brief background about the topic, that was what we said, and a concise thesis statement that clearly sets out the opinion that you want your audience to accept. Okay, so this is talking about an argumentative essay, that you have to write your opinion clearly. What I'm talking about is just not an argumentative essay, just one supportive essay. So I'm not gonna read everything here, but what I want to do is, okay, I'll go to this written introduction. It says, according to university rules, on-campus accommodation can only be provided to students who live more than about 30 kilometers from the university. See, so this is what I call the general information or background information. So it talks about how there's a rule for on-campus accommodation that they have to be living, that the students must be living more than 30 kilometers away from the university. And then it continues, those living nearer must live at home. And then the thesis is, however, I strongly believe that all students should be allowed to live on campus. Okay, I guess it didn't have much of a transition because it wasn't that much of a general statement in the beginning. So it went like, it was directly talking about students' accommodation for on campus, and it has to be 30 kilometers away from the university. And what would be this what would be the transitioning statement here is, those living nearer must live at home. But I don't really think that it's exactly what I want. So okay, so this introduction has only two parts. It's just background and immediately a thesis statement. So okay, now we have what did I want to say? I forgot. So yeah, so there are different kind of approaches and different kind of essays. I prefer to have three parts on my introduction because, first of all, I just want to use some words there, so I would go to the words limit. And secondly, I strongly believe that an introduction is the most important thing in your paper, because if you can write an introduction, a strong introduction, you're gonna do very well in your body parts and conclusion, because the introduction is what sets you for the essay, basically. And so yeah, if you want to practice this, just do these two things. You either, okay, it really depends on how you normally write your essays, but I would advise you to just go with these information. And I mean, if you're already doing this, then there's no point in this whole video. It's just confirmation of what you're doing, which is fine. So that means you're doing great in your introductions, and we'll get to the others later. I mean, that's it for now.